The Hong Kong-Macau Trophy Class 1 is our feature at Sha Tin on Saturday afternoon. 5 runners from Macau and, of course, 9 from Hong Kong, headed by Jolly Banner, who has drawn the outside barrier for Matthew Poon, gate number 14. The Alfonso for Macau, he ran so well here a couple of years ago when finishing second. Mr. Kapow, born in China, Mission Tycoon, coming through from the 4-year-old series, more than lucky, encouraging, off a rating of 100. Good standing. Pearl Green is the horse in form from Macau. He won the Directors' Cup recently. World record, lean perfection, super rich, Wichita linesman, and Wayne Smith will ride Duke de Vega down the bottom, horse number 14. So that's the lineup. It's a strong representation from Hong Kong, but Macau certainly have a couple of runners in form. Let's take a look at the possible way the race will unfold here, Tom, when we let the gates fly, and there is some pace. Generally, the Macau runners do have some pace, and they make it a fairly honest run campaign race, and again, that looks to be the situation here. Yeah,
they like to roll forward. You've got Mr. Kapow there in the trail. He could potentially, he's got enough pace to potentially go forward. We've seen that in the 1,200-metre races of him in the past, so he could potentially sit a little bit further forward. You've got encouraging Mission Tycoon there as well. We know Mission Tycoon likes to go forward. Interesting, he's got the visor coming off and the blinkers on. Pearl Green is another one that likes to race handy, so he could be right there in the thick of it once the gates open. Good standing, he's somewhere in there as well. He is in this race, good standing, drawn gate number 5, so he should get a perfect run. And the other 2 Macau horses, the Alfonso, he doesn't have a lot of early pace, and neither does Duke de Vega. They're back at the tail there. But be interesting to see what those 2 Macau horses do up front there, Mr. Kapow and also Pearl Green, because we do know that they like to get out and go forward.
Particularly Mr. Kapow, he's got good form over 1,200 metres. Let's have a look at the track work, Paul.
Yeah, the Macau horses have only done slow work since they're here, so none of those will feature. But Jolly Banner just doing a 400-metre gallop here this morning. He's under a good hold as well. He goes nice. He's just got an awkward draw, so that's going to be the query with him. Barrier 14 and the good top weight, but this horse is going really well. Brings some very strong form lines into the race. Good standing. Zach Purden just giving him a nice, easy workout down the back straight. Cross nose band will come on, and the tongue tie will go off him. And world record, he's super keen here this morning. Look at the hold he's under. He just really wants to go on with it. And again, 1,400 metres we know is absolutely ideal for him. It looks like there'll be a bit of pace in the race too, so he looks cherry ripe for the race.
Yeah, he'll love the pace. He probably likes some rain too if it was about, but the weather is meant to be fairly sunny and good for racing at Sha Tin. Let's go to Frankie Law. He's often had a fair hand in some of the big feature races of the season, and this race is no different.
Frankie, 3 runners in the Hong Kong-Macau Trophy. Let's start off with Mission Tycoon, the Classic Cup winner. Why have you decided to bring him back in trip for this race?
Yes, because this race is 110 to 85, so it's suitable for him. And this also, I think his best distance is 14-16, so just win him.
And is that also why you've put the blinkers back on him here?
Yes, that's why I put back the blinkers on.
He's running the Derby, of course. He won the Classic Cup. They're tough races. Has he shown any signs of fatigue or anything like that to you, Frankie?
I think he's a good horse, but is it that good? Maybe still need more time. And but anyway, this race is suitable for him.
More than lucky. He's had a couple of months since his last run. Why did you decide to give him a break, Frankie? Yes,
it looked like after the last one, he's a little bit tired, so just give him a little break and then trial 2 times for him. He looks getting better. So 1,400, 1,600 also suitable for this horse.
Drawn a little wide. What would the plan be from there?
I think he got an early speed. I will ask the jockeys jump first and then try second, third if we can. If cannot, maybe just midfield.
And Super Rich, what were your thoughts on his last run, Frankie?
I think last one is set Purden, right? He jumped okay, and then it's a little bit slow. And I think now maybe 14, 16 should be better for him. But anyway, he got an outside jaw. Maybe still ask the jockeys jump him first, and depends by what he got. Maybe midfield or a little bit back. No problem for this horse. He got a very strong finish.
3 horses in the race. Who would be your pick of the 3, Frankie?
I think it should be Mission Tycoon first because you know he's quite strong. He just won the 1800 race, so I think this one is my first pick.
All right, so that's the take from Frankie Law regarding his runners. We saw in that previous replay, good standing. run down by Champions Way, undefeated. He's got to be some chance from a good draw, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think he'll win it. He's been running against Waikuku and Champions Way's unbeaten. There's no sort of form lines in this race. I mean, Mission Tycoon over longer maybe, but back to 1,400 metres for him. So, yeah, I think it's ideal there for good standing.
All right, you putting good standing in your tips, Tom?
Have I got good standing in? Yes, I have got him in for a second. And John Moore's other one's interesting as well, encouraging. James McDonald was of the opinion that he might have finished a little bit closer to them last start.
Yeah, well, obviously, maybe a little bit of a scramble early on for potentially the lead. Now, let's go back and have a look at the Macau Hong Kong Trophy only a few months ago. And it was obviously won by Horse of Fortune. It was a good finish. Focus firstly on Pearl Green. Now, this horse has gone on and won the Directors' Cup since. That's him positioned there when they corner for home. And the Alfonso is back in the field. He does go into the race on Saturday, 4th up. And off the back of this performance, it's his best one so far this prep.
Yeah, so Pearl Green, he comes into this with, Oscar Chavez riding. Manuel Nunez has been the man to do all the work on him recently. It was a really good effort from them on this occasion. Of course, Horse of Fortune winning this. They've stuck on well. The Directors' Cup has been won by Pearl Green since I think he's the pick of them here.
Yeah, look, I don't think they've got any chance, really, the Macau horses. If the only way they have is if it's a real wet track, but then I think World Record will beat them anyway, so...
Yeah. I tend to disagree with you a bit, Paul. I think this is a reasonable race. Romantic Touch, Literature, Horse of Fortune. Pearl Green has gone on and won the Directors' Cup since. The Alfonso won that race the year prior. So I think he's going in as best he can, Pearl Green. He's had 9 wins from 19 starts and 8 minors. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a chance. Let's focus now on Lean Perfection, who, of course, is a horse that's in form at the moment. And he's got a very light weight. He came into the race from that position here. Also, Encouraging was leading when they cornered in. And World Record, the horse you just touched on, Paul, that's him out there widest when they turned for home. Yeah,
I've got both World Record and Lean Perfection, and I think World Record will get the race one run to suit, so I quite like him. And Lean Perfection from barrier number 1, he's found some form, and of course Dennis Yip would love to win the double, even being with 2 different horses. Yes. So I think they've both got really good chances, these two. Yeah,
Lean Perfection's won course and distance in the past. Encouraging and see just run down here by Lean Perfection. World Record storming onto the scene late in the piece, so I think we've all got a good chance, but I haven't quite got them in the top 4. All
right, time to make the selections, Paul. Who's on top?
I think good standing. I really like his form lines coming into this. I think he'll win. He'll win easy, I think. World Record, the main danger. Then Super Rich and Lean Perfection in there for 3rd and 4th. 8, 10, 12, 11, like the 8.
On top for me is number 6, More Than Lucky for Frankie Law, off the back of a couple of good barrier trials. A little bit of a let-up as well from Frankie. Thought he might have been a bit tired. 8 good standing, I think the toughest to beat. Throwing in Mission Tycoon with the blinkers going on. And Pearl Green, one of the Macau horses, goes in for me. So 6, 8, 5, 9.
Yeah, I'm with Paul. I think good standing's the one clearly to beat, but I will throw in Pearl Green. I'll even sneak in the Alfonso running on late towards the end. So that's the feature event. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have a look at race 8.